Hey guys, we're back. Cocktails with Kurt. Cheers.
Cheers.
So we're gonna jump into the next topic. I think Kurt's gonna ask this one, and we'll kind of go back and forth a little bit.
So the next question is, this is a good question. So why do I need an agent when I can go to the website and find the property myself? That's a good question.
The web searches. Okay, I got you. Well, first and foremost, a misconception out there is that when you hire an agent, especially a buyer agent, somebody that's going to help you find a home, that it's going to cost me hundreds or thousands of dollars. But what does it cost you?
It costs you zero. And if there's
How does it cost you zero?
Wait, and if there's an agent that is charging you a fee,
staying clear. But like, just talk about like, how does that work? Like, it's because the person that is listing your home, you're listing it through a broker. They charge that person. It's always on the seller side, whether it's a builder or a seller, a commission. And what they're trying to do is have somebody bring them a buyer. So by doing that, they're splitting the commission with the agent. So therefore, you as a home buyer are not a part of any of that.
Right.
The fiduciary responsibilities, is that the word? Yeah, fiduciary.
I think it's fiduciary, but
One more drink. I think it used to be fiduciary.
It was before that.
Cheers to that, though. But anyways, so there's no cost involved. Now, like we said, you could go on Craigslist, Zillow, Trulia, our site, any site out there, Realtor.com, all those sites, and search for houses all day. But what does that really get you, and who is really looking out for your best interest?
So what usually happens, if I just, if I can, not to cut you off, usually what will happen is somebody has in their mind, I don't want an agent because either A, I don't want to pay for it, which is not
dispel that
rumor, or I don't trust agents. They have this conspiracy that
used car sales.
Right. So here's what happens typically with people like that. You search the Zillows, GreatHomesATL.com. You got to do the shameless plug. But you do all of those searches, and you come up with a house, and it has a number there saying, for showing, contact, and it'll have a phone number there. So the person will call, and they will get a showing appointment. That agent, keep in mind what Mark said in the beginning, who is that agent representing?
The seller.
So now you just contacted the seller's agent.
Who's trying to get the most money
for
that?
The seller.
Right.
And they're going to show you that house.
Right.
Do you think that now, because they're representing their client, they're going to have your best interest in mind? Because their objective is to get the most
highest and best price for their
seller.
Do you know about closing costs? Do you know about the comps in the area? Do you know about a private home inspection? Do you know about appraisers? Do you even know if you're qualified?
Right. I mean, but even before you get to the qualification, just those questions that you ask around appraisal, around the comps, that seller's agent is not going to share that information with you because their best interest and their fiduciary duties. Wow, I might need another sip of that one. Is with their seller. So the value in having your own agent is you now have a licensed real estate professional.
And we worked hard for those licenses.
Right.
It ain't easy, people.
Right. And that person is now looking out for you in your best interest.
Right. And when there's issues that come up, it's instead of that person going it alone, they don't know if that information is right. They don't know. I had people hit me up this week that were like, oh my God, I wish we reached out or found you guys earlier. I'm having a horrible time dealing with this agent. Or I found something in a home inspection that came out, and they don't have any representation. They have no power in that situation. So a lot of times, what do they lose? They lose their...
Well, they lose money.
Yeah,
right?
Earnest money. They're going to lose their earnest money. And that could be thousands of dollars.
And they lose out on having what should be a very fun sort of experience of buying a home. They lose out on that because their time is being spent worried about what they're losing, why their concerns are not being addressed. And so the other thing too is, while we're on this topic, I think it's good to mention too, if you go to a new home community, where usually, the setup is there's a model home, you travel the community yourself, you don't have to have an agent. It's not a requirement.
There's an on-site agent.
There's an on-site agent there, but
who may or may not be licensed.
Who may or may not be licensed, but what we said is that on-site agent represents the builder, who is no different than the seller, which means that on-site agent has their builder's best interest at mind.
Right.
So when you go to these new home communities, they're not going to tell you like, oh, you need an agent, because for them, they'd rather just lock you in to whatever
in their pocket.
It's more money in their pocket, but they'd rather lock you into the terms that their seller is going to agree upon and care less about what your interests are.
Right.
So just be very careful. Again, if you have hangups over, I don't want an agent, I don't need an agent, and if your hangups are you think that they're out to get you, or you got to pay some money, that's not true.
And there's nothing wrong. Like, we used to do that all the time even before we were licensed. There's nothing wrong about driving around and you stumble upon a new home community. By all means, go and take a look. When they ask that question, do you have representation? Say, I plan to. Yeah,
I plan to. GreatHomesATL.
Right? But, say, I plan to, because you do not want to go in this alone. I mean, just talk about a little bit about some of the processes, where you would really need a real estate agent. I'll just talk about a few things. Once you go under contract, you're going to have all kinds of questions of because it's such a big contract. Most of these things are going to have legal jargon.
It's intimidating.
There's a lot of legal jargon. What does due diligence mean, right? Some of these terms, let's just throw out there. What is an appraisal? Do I have to pay for it? What does it mean by a private inspection?
And all of these
will they
things,
fix everything?
And all of these things I want to add, they all have timestamps associated to them. So these big contracts, there are little stipulations that you have to know.
Little fine print.
That you have to know to, where and what to extract. Right. To know, how much time do you have to get an inspection?
Right.
How much time do you have to complete a home appraisal? Right. Because what happens is, when these stipulations or contingencies are not met,
they expire.
And guess what you lose? Earnest money. So again, not having your own agent and you going at it alone, thinking that you're going to come out on top in the end. While I hope you do, because I don't want anybody to lose money, whether you go with us or not. The reality of it is, why put yourself through the stress of even having to worry about what if I missed this or what if I didn't do that, when you could just have an agent represent you and take all the worry and all the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. It's a win-win. It's like you're getting free service. It's like if you were going to a doctor, a mechanic, anybody, and they said, we can represent you, a lawyer, for free. Why wouldn't you take them up on that? Number one, because, like I said, and we'll talk about this maybe in a future video, because we get a lot of questions. Oh, I want to be a real estate agent. We get that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Or could I be a mentor and an apprentice to you? And we hope to have those opportunities in the future for you. But real estate is no joke. It is the biggest, probably, investment you're going to make in your whole life. And probably you're going to do it multiple times if you start early in life. So to have that expertise, to have somebody that is going to be legally responsible to you, it's priceless to me.
I agree. Yeah.
So with that, I think we answered that one. We could go on to the next topic, but so continue if you want to look at Zillow, Trulia, our site,
all of those sites. We're not, we are not, discounting.
Use it as to get an idea of what's out there.
You should use those sites for informational purposes only. When you are ready to embark on the biggest investment, which will probably be the biggest investment of your life, you may want to be very careful with that and make sure you have proper representation. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to gamble hundreds of thousands of dollars in most cases and risk losing any money. So
cheers to that.
Cheers.
Amen. On a Sunday or whenever this airs. But yep. So continue to view those sites. Continue to, more importantly, view our site, because we are directly linked to what?
FMLS.
So that is the first metro listing service that has pretty much all homes in Greater Atlanta available. It will show it's under contract. You can search and save. So go to GreatHomesATL.com after you DM, call us, so that you could gain access for good and enjoy that while we're searching for homes. And then we're going to help you the rest of the way, taking you out, negotiating on your behalf, making sure you hit all these
He's going to
contingency
do
dates.
most of that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be working on your
He's
contracts.
the face.
I'll be working on
He's
your
now
contracts.
the face of GreatHomesATL.
No. I'll be working on the contracts.
All right, guys. On to the next topic. Again, shoot us a DM, give us a call, and we'll talk to you soon.